What a victory this has been. What a victory for Team Padmaavat. And she, I mean Deepika Padukone, has fought so bravely in every sense.
Yes, in a lot of ways, I think Padmaavat has seen its own sort of journey. And yes, it feels like a victory in so many ways. Not just because of the issues that it faced, but in terms of its sheer scale and magnitude, in terms of this box office success that it is seeing, in terms of the love and appreciation that the film is getting.
You know, obviously Ranveer spoke about how he had to, he had to really go to the dark place and he was not ready. And we are so uneasy all the time in real lives. To be so serene and calm and to sort of emulate that, I think is so much more difficult. You know how that happened?
I do find this to be one of my most challenging characters that I've played, because there were no real crutches in that sense. Everything that I did, I had to emote, or rather I chose to emote through my eyes. I find it extremely boring when actors talk about how much they've worked, or how they have approached. It's a personal opinion. I just find that extremely boring, and I think it's okay to keep some of that to yourself sometimes, the process and, all of that. As long as it translates on screen and people see it.
There was a scene where you had to do this really long monologue, and it in itself felt that it must have taken so much time to do it. But when you told me what it was, so I want you to tell us exactly what you told me.
What we were calling the Johar speech. And then there's the act of the Johar itself, the build-up and the whole climax. And not once did we discuss how it should be done or how I should perform it or what is the sur or tone, nothing. In what was scheduled as a 3-day scene, we ended up finishing it in half a day. And I think that's the beauty of the relationship that I share with Sanjay sir. We don't communicate much, we don't speak much, we don't have to say much to each other.
People have spoken about the remuneration that you received, which I know I'm sure you didn't do it for that, but I think it's a step. When someone pays the leading actor to the ability that she is, pays more than the other two male, I don't know, I feel a sense of achievement. Also, I feel we are in the right direction.
Absolutely, I think we're most definitely headed in the right direction. I think every now and then there are instances like these that sort of help enhance that process, elevate the process, speeden up the process. And to both of the things, whether it's what I am being paid today as an actor or whether it's the fact that my film has, had this sort of budget, both of these things I think are major pluses that will only elevate and speeden up the process of women finally finding their feet and their place.
And people were writing ridiculous threats and without seeing the film, judging the film. And I remember I said, I seemed probably more worried than you were, if you remember, in the elevator, and you smiled and said, it's going to release. Yeah. I want to know, how did you keep that mood intact?
And I think it's very important for us to realize that never give somebody else the power to dampen your spirit. And there was no way that I was going to allow anyone else to come in the way of me and my film. I wanted them to take my feet instead, because I keep complaining that my feet were too big. And I told Karishma the first time this threat came out, and I said, have you heard? Yeah. And they want to take your nose. And I said, no.
That is so cute.
Don't take my nose. Can they take my big toe or something?
This is what I was talking about. See, I think your feet also are very precious, Deepika. Let's not give that away. But you really think, going to what Shahid said, do you think industry needs to be more unified so that when other movies don't have to go through the entire ordeal?
Yeah, I think it's a much larger conversation, which I wouldn't address at this point. I think it's a much larger conversation which I would like to address at some other point.
Mr. Bansali has said he's not had enough of you and Ranveer and of you. Why am I surprised?
Isn't he bored?
We are not.
I saw it this morning and I was like, this man is crazy. How can he have, that sort of patience and, but it's so exciting. It means that somewhere as an actor, he feels like I still have so much more to discover and for him to extract that from me. But I'm curious myself as to, if we do collaborate again, what that is going to be, which world it's going to be set in. I'm very, very curious.
So are we, Deepika. And I think only the best collaboration bring out the best results. So if we get you, him and Ranveer also, well, we know what's going to happen then. But thank you so much. I think honest as always, she's clearly victorious for what she's done proudly. Rudrani Chatraj, camera person Pramod, Zoom, Mumbai.
For all the Garma Garam Bollywood gossip news and more, download the Zoom app now.